Dan, adding Brian to the ALCS roster, what did you see from him to know that he's ready, and when can you potentially expect him to get out there for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's made his steady progress and has hit some of the milestones we were hoping for. Felt good in his last bullpen, and the velos were where we were hoping to, and going to get a chance, tomorrow, I think, to throw a live. So he's at a point where he's feeling a lot better, and hoping that as we get into this series, we'll get a chance to see him later.
Go straight in the middle and the back, Tim.
Dan, do you have a Game 2 starter?
We're going to see how guys feel today, and we'll likely announce that after the game today.
We'll go to Mike in the middle.
I'm just curious, obviously there's going to be the bounce back physically after 15 innings, but in terms of the emotional weight of doing that in Seattle and everything it means to the city, how do you feel like the guys are bouncing back in terms of just resetting from that and the emotional sort of changeover to this?
Yeah, I mean, it was highly emotional, that last game and getting here, getting into this series, as the next stepping stone. And I think yesterday helped, get the chance to travel to kind of, transition out of one series and into this series. I think, this is what playoff baseball is about, and you have to make these adjustments. And our guys have done this all season long. I feel like with all the travel we have, all the things that we have to deal with, being out on the West Coast, it helps us in these kinds of situations, and being able to kind of move on and switch gears, I think, is something that we're able to do because of that. And our guys will, they'll definitely be ready tonight.
Go on the left, Tyler.
Dan, I think you had one other roster adjustment, putting on Miles and taking off Luke Raley. What was the thought there?
Yeah, I think having some flexibility, having some guys that can play multiple spots, and Stroh is one of those guys that's able to kind of play anywhere on the infield and can fill in a lot of the outfield spots as well. So just kind of adding that versatility is going to be something that we're hoping for in this series as well.
Go on the back against the wall.
Hey, Dan, the Blue Jays have announced Trey Savage to start Game 2. I'm sure you saw what he did against the Yankees last weekend. What do you make of the challenge that he presents with the unique arm angle and the nasty split?
Yeah, it's he's definitely something that we're going to have to figure out. And the big arm, the big split, they're tough pitches, clearly. Something similar, Gausman tonight with the split as well. So something that our guys are going to have to adjust to. And, this is what's great about the postseason, making the adjustments and doing the things you need to do to win games. And offensively, I thought we did some really good stuff in the Detroit series, and we've had to make adjustments, in that series offensively. And we'll have to make, different adjustments here in Toronto. And it'll be good to get a chance to do that tonight, and then we'll be ready for Savage tomorrow. I think we can't jump too far ahead, but just being ready and putting in the preparation that we have to get ready for that. Our hitting staff with Gar at the helm and Seitz and Bobby do such a great job preparing our guys. So our guys will know what they need to be doing when they get out there against them.
Go on the back left.
Dan, as far as the emotion, I guess, from Friday night, I'm sure there's a comparable to that in your playing career from 30 years ago, but just as far as the exhaustion and what everyone had to go through in the 5 hours, is there anything you can compare that to from when you played?
Yeah, I mean, we in one of the years, I think it was 95, we had the 1-game playoff, obviously a huge emotional win there, and then had to play the next day in New York. So yes, again, moving on from games is tough, especially when you've gone through that emotional thing. But part of what makes those things so exciting is that you're getting a chance to advance. And so when you do advance, you get ready quickly and you move on and get started on that next series. And baseball is a progression of series, and you move on from the one that you just finished, and you move on to the one that's coming up, and so I think that's where we're at. Yes, emotionally it's a change, but these guys have done this time and time again.
And just as far as the pitching for tomorrow, I know you don't want to confirm anything, but is it fair to speculate that Friday could have been treated almost like a side for Luis Castillo, that he may be able to be available tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, you could make that case for a couple guys, that threw in that ball game, and that's why today is kind of a day to figure out exactly what we're going to do for tomorrow.
Go to Ryan in the middle.
Hey, Dan, Cal had his first pass ball of the season the other night. I mean, that's over 1,000 innings caught, and he didn't have a pass ball. Can you kind of elaborate on how kind of remarkable that is, given also that the staff you have doesn't make it easy to always catch them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing for me that's incredible. Not that our staff is throwing balls all over the place. They just have really good stuff. And you think about Logan and his split. Bryce has a split. George has a split. These guys that have tough pitches to catch. And you would think at some point during the season you're going to miss a few. But for that to be the first one is remarkable. Again, you stack that on to all the incredible other things that he has done this season, and you realize, what an incredible player this that Cal is. So yeah, it's almost unfathomable that was his first one, and because of the guys he catches can be tough, but Cal is, he is unbelievable, and what he can do behind the plate. We've talked about it all season long. That's why he's the platinum glove winner from last year. He just continues to do it.
Go to Tyler on the left.
Dan, your pitchers will be facing a much different kind of offense with Toronto compared to Detroit. Detroit strikes out a lot. Toronto doesn't. What kind of challenge, or how does that change things? Because you guys always pound the zone no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think playoffs are a time to play to your strengths, and our guys, I thought, threw the ball very well in Detroit. Again, that Detroit series, bullpen threw the ball very well in the Detroit series. That's what we're going to continue to do. This is a team we know makes contact. This is a team that will put the ball in play. But that's, our guys are still going to take the philosophy that they have, attack the strike zone, get in control of the count. And when you do that, you're hoping to get weaker contact versus, the hard contact. So our guys won't change in some ways. They'll make their adjustments to the hitters, clearly, but our philosophy will always stay the same, and that's getting ahead and getting control of the count.
We'll go in the back middle, Aaron.
Dan, your pitching staff threw an absurd amount of sliders in the series against the Tigers. I think Munoz was like 80% for the series. I think a lot of people watching were kind of waiting, especially for some of your relievers, to start throwing fastballs, and they were very bullish with the slider. Can you kind of explain? I know it's probably a little different from pitcher to pitcher, but kind of broad strokes. Can you explain just the philosophy of sticking so much with that one particular pitch as much as the Mariners did?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at, obviously you look at individual hitters, and it's not a blanket approach to everybody. In some ways, I think Detroit really handles fastballs well, and especially some of their left-handed hitters that they had in that lineup, and so it was advisable and sort of the smart thing to do to go with a little bit more spin, especially against some of the bigger hitters. So again, you don't blanket it. You look at each individual hitter, but it just felt like in that series with the matchups that we had, that going with the spin was a better move, and that's, I think, why you saw a bigger uptick in the amount of spin that we were throwing.
Anything else for Dan? All right, thanks for coming in, Dan.
Thank you.
Matt Brash will be right in. Thank you, sir.
Good seeing you.
You too. See you later. You're getting good at this. All right, we'll open it up for Matt Brash. We'll go to Ryan in the middle.
Matt, are you going to teach your teammates how to sing "Oh Canada" today?
I think someone sang it on the bus already on the way over here, so I think they know it by now.
Matt, just coming back here in this building in a playoff atmosphere, I mean, does it bring back any memories of that series a couple years ago, and what does it mean to be pitching here in Canada?
Yeah, definitely brings back memories. I remember that game really well. I think I threw like the fourth inning in that game and then got to watch it, and It's probably the best comeback I've ever seen. So obviously we have some good memories here, but yeah, it's always fun to play here coming back. I used to play tournaments here, tournament 12 when I was younger, and watch Jays games. So brings back a lot of emotions and a lot of memories, and it's nice to have my family here and all that. So I'm just super excited to get this series underway and see what we can do.
Going back to Tim.
Matt, what's the last 36 hours been like coming off the emotions of Friday night and then everything you guys dealt with yesterday and trying to get here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been busy. A lot of travel, obviously, going across the country, but that's what you live for. I mean, we do it in seasons. It's not too much different, a little shorter turnaround, but doesn't really matter how your body's feeling or anything like that. Like, you're ready for these games. I know everybody there might be a little tired or whatever, but we're going to be ready to rock, and everyone's just super excited.
Go to Mike in the middle.
Matt, you mentioned family being here. How deep does the Brash crew run this week? What does that crew look like?
I live in Kingston, so we're still 2.5 hours away from here. So I got my parents, my sister, and then some of my good childhood friends, and I have some friends from college coming, and I'm sure some other family will be sprinkled in there. But definitely a good support staff, and like I said, I always love coming back here and playing. Gives some family that don't get to see a lot of games come out and watch, so it's pretty special.
Go to Daniel.
Matt, you were obviously out of the game before it went out of the bullpen, at least before it went to the 15th inning.
Yeah.
Just what was it like out there? And then, when you did come in and pitch, what was the vibe in the dugout afterwards as well?
Yeah, I mean, that game was all hands on deck. I feel like we kind of knew that going into it, and then obviously we didn't know it was going to go 15 innings, but seeing all those guys come into the pen and everyone do their job and just attack those hitters, and it was pretty amazing to see. And then it was really cool seeing Logan and Louie come out of there for sure. I don't think I'll ever forget Logan running out with the fire behind him, and I feel like they put the camera a little lower to make him look a little taller and all that, but just super cool moment for everybody, and to come out on top of that game is huge for this team, and just keep that momentum going.
Go on the back left, Mike.
Matt, can you take us through what the travel was like? Like, what, after you finished celebrating Friday night until you got here last night?
Yeah, so we celebrate after the game. I feel like it wasn't the biggest celebration in the world just because the game took so long and it was so late. Then the next day was a normal travel day. I feel like our plane got delayed or whatever it was a little bit, so we're hanging out at the field a little longer than we were gonna. But, I mean, we've been getting in late from flights all season. It's nothing really new, and it wasn't too bad. So, yeah, like I said, it was a little weird travel day yesterday, but we're all going to be ready to rock today for sure.
And you were, I think, 17 when the Blue Jays in 2015 sort of came back into the national consciousness here with that playoff run.
Yeah.
Were you a Jays fan then, and what do you remember about that 2015 playoff?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a Jays fan growing up. Like I said, in Kingston, not too far from here, and I remember a lot of those players. I remember Jose Bautista and Encarnacion and Donaldson and all those guys. So that was kind of my first memories of playoff baseball and being really into it. So even that's cool, being back here and remembering those games, and then getting to come out here and compete like those guys did. It's pretty cool.
Go on the back left, Rick.
Matty, when the guys got down to the bullpen, did you have to remind them how to get ready as a reliever for Louie and Logan?
Louie was pretty chill, like he always is. He didn't need too much direction. I think I talked to Logan after he came out and he was done. He's like, I was so nervous that whole time. Like, I don't know how you guys do it down there. Like, I didn't know when I was going in and all that. I feel like it's just a different mindset being down there, but I'm sure it was fun for those guys. And like I said, they handled it really, really well, and they came out and threw strikes right away and had some really good stuff. So kudos to those guys. It's not that easy to do when they've never done it before. So it was definitely pretty fun having them down there. Yeah.
Go in the middle, Ryan.
Hey, Matt, Cal had his first pass ball in that game the entire season. Given like how hard you throw and guys throw, Logan's splitter, I mean, how ridiculous is that? And also, it was fitting that Logan got the pass ball on him, right?
Yeah, I feel like a recurring joke on this team is how much Logan wears out Cal with I feel like he's good for a couple spikes in the ground with the splitter, the slider, whatever it is. But yeah, Cal's been amazing all year. I also wear him out, especially with 2 strikes. I'm gonna go for my strikeout. I'm gonna bounce one or whatever it is. So he's been amazing for us, and I don't ever have a thought of this could be a pass ball or this could get to the backside when the runner's on. Like, I'm gonna rip my best stuff, and no Cal's gonna be behind there and do his thing. So it's great for us having him back there, but what he does is really incredible.
Go on the left, Tyler.
Matt, you're obviously familiar with this ballpark, and you play in Seattle. What is it like, sort of, when those particular ballparks get going? Because they have the roof, and they kind of have fans all around. Even in Seattle, the upper decks in center and left. Like, what is that sort of surround sound fan effect like for the players?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like domes always have kind of keep the volume in a little bit, but yeah, this place gets rocking. I remember a couple years ago in the playoffs, it was bumping in here, and they're passionate fans, they're loud, and they're into the game. But I feel like we feed off that too. It just makes for a great playoff atmosphere, and like I said, I feel like everyone on this team can't wait to get out there and do our thing. And I think home field definitely showed in our game 2 days ago with the crowd being into it the whole game, and it gets you pumped up. And I feel like these are 2 of the louder stadiums out there. So yeah, I just think it's going to be a great series. No.
Go to Tim in the middle.
Matt, you guys threw, I don't know, about 1 billion sliders in that series against Detroit.
Yeah.
Yours is obviously very good. I guess, what is it about your slider that makes it so effective, and maybe who has, outside of you, who has the best slider on the staff?
Ooh. Yeah, we threw a lot of sliders that series. I don't think I threw a fastball in those innings I threw. It was mostly slider changeup, but that was just our game plan going in. But I don't know. I feel like I got full conviction in that pitch. I've obviously had good results within the past, so we kind of lean on in big moments. And yeah, I don't know. I think coming with my velo coming back a little bit, my feel getting there. I've just been locating well, and I'm throwing it harder. I feel like it's almost a little shorter right now than it normally is, but sometimes the shorter, harder ones get more swings because they stay in the zone longer. So whatever shape I have that day, I feel like plays well, and I'm going to throw it a lot. And then outside of that, I feel like obviously you got to throw Mooney in there with what he's done with his slider all year. It's pretty incredible. I don't even know if I've seen him give up a hit on the slider all year, if I'm like really thinking about it. So I feel like a lot of the guys have really good ones, but I'd say Mooney's up there for sure.
Go to Aaron in the back.
Matt, your fellow countryman and former Mariner, Michael Saunders, said many years ago that when he used to play here, the fans would boo him.
Oh.
And they thought he was a traitor. Have you ever been booed inside Rogers Center?
I definitely haven't. I mean, maybe being a hitter is a little different than me coming in from the bullpen, but I think that just shows the competitive nature of the Blue Jays fans, and they got the whole country behind them. So definitely very passionate there. If I get booed, it is what it is. I'm still going to go out there and do my thing, but no, I've never been booed.
You are a little more, the newish bullpen does kind of shield you a little bit here now, right?
It does, but when you're warming up, they're still right on top of
Sure.
you. There's like an under area you can go and kind of chill out, and you're kind of away from everything. But if you sit up top, they're right on top of you. But I kind of like that. It kind of keeps you involved in the game, especially if I'm throwing later innings. Sometimes it's hard to stay dialed the whole time, and you kind of lose focus. But when the fans are there, you kind of stay in that baseball mentality, and you're having fun and doing all that. So we'll see where I sit today. If it gets a little out of control, I'll probably go underneath. But no, it's always fun playing here. I feel like everyone's super into the game, and it makes it good.
We'll go one more with Mike.
Hey, Matt, speaking of fellow countrymen, Josh Naylor comes in a couple of months ago. How much has he done for this team? What's he added?
I mean, you guys see him play. I feel like he just adds a gritty intensity, grinds at bats, amazing first baseman. He wants to win. He was pretty intense there in that last game, trying to get the offense fired up and get everyone try to finish that game off. So I feel like we've kind of been missing that maybe in recent years, that kind of super grindy, just do what it takes to win. And I feel like everyone loves having him here. And like I said, that guy's a competitor, and you want him on your side. You don't want to be playing against him. So we're just happy to have him. And yeah.
And knowing that you're from Kingston, John Schneider was just in here saying that he hopes fans from BC are more Jays fans than Mariners fans. I don't know if you can speak to BC, but you've seen a lot of them come down. What are your thoughts on the support that the Mariners seem to get from Western Canada?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everywhere we go, I run into Mariners fans, and my parents, they go to a lot of games, especially on the West Coast too, and stuff like that, and they run into Mariners fans everywhere, and I feel like, yeah, when we play at home, there's always Jays fans when we play the Jays back in Seattle, so it's going to be a fun little series with the two fan bases. But yeah, like I said, Jays have always had, I feel like, the country behind them, and it's just always fun. It's a fun atmosphere to play when these two teams play.
Matt, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys.